There is a new lightweight champion in the UFC. Rafael dos Anjos. Yes, I looked up the pronunciation of that word because I would say Rafael dos Anjos or some other disgraceful pronunciation of it, but he is rightly so the UFC lightweight champion after he defeated Anthony Pettis on a unanimous decision, 50-45 all the way across the board. A great fight from his perspective, coming into the talented Anthony Pettis, who was once declared as maybe the best pound-for-pound fighter in the division at one point, next to the likes of John Bones Jones. But if you watch, Rafael dos Anjos came out and he was so focused from the start. He had that something in his eye when you seen him come out, and he understood what he had to do to win this fight. And one thing that I have to agree with ESPN correspondent reciprocated throughout the fight is he set his range and tempo early. It was his fight. He directed which way the fight went. Anthony Pettis is talented. We understand that he is very dangerous on the offensive side of things. But what Rafael dos Anjos did is he made sure that it was his fight. He kind of sculpted the way the fight was going to go. And he had some devastating body shots from early on from the left. He just came in and just, you could see it, Anthony Pettis' face. He looked a little bit off balance after he hit him hard. And Pettis did come back with some good combinations. But there was no doubt in my mind after the first minute that this was dos Anjos' fight. And he definitely deserved the plaudits that he got at the end. And now the question is asked, is he one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the division now? Because it was such a dominant victory that you cannot help but overlook this fact. He could be considered as one of the best in the UFC at the moment in time. And what's next for him is a big question, because it was stated towards the end that he had something of an MCL injury that he has to have checked out. So will he perhaps go onto the surgical table before he goes into his next fight? He definitely did not look like a guy who was moving with a serious MCL injury. He was focused on the fight from the get-go. But next up for him could be the likes of Donald Cerrone, who fights Khabib Nurmagomedov. I pronounced that one great as well. Thanks again. So they two are fighting next. And I think that would be a fantastic fight. People would like to see it. Would Donald Cerrone get another title fight after his recent fight? That's another question that people may ask. I know the fans would love to see it, but the ending point is that Rafael dos Anjos thoroughly deserved his win against the talented Anthony Pettis. So the end note is Rafael dos Anjos, who dominated Nate Diaz in his fight. There was questions about whether Nate Diaz just wasn't at his best, rather than how good how good dos Anjos was. But I mean, he's just kind of cleared the air on that. He just demonstrated that he is a fantastic fighter and he is one to be looked out of. I mean, Anthony Pettis couldn't even see out of his left eye by the end of the fight. Just a completely dominant performance. We want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments in the section below. We love to talk back and forth with you guys about this. We are learning. We want to know from you guys. We want to continue to get better in covering this fantastic sport. Leave your comments. Subscribe.